All right, buckle up, everybody, because we're going deep on AI today. Artificial intelligence.
It's huge, right?
It is. It feels like every day there's a new headline. AI is going to solve all our problems, or AI is going to, end the world as we know it.
Exactly.
But instead of just, throwing opinions around, we're going to give you the facts.
That's right. We're going to be looking at two really interesting sources today.
Yeah.
One is from the Future of Life Institute.
Yeah.
Now, they've got a pretty strong warning about AI's potential dangers. And then we've got a piece from Morgan State University focusing on how AI is helping us every single day.
So I'm not going to lie, when I was reading through the Future of Life Institute stuff, there was one thing that just really blew my mind.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about how AI can now write poetry, like good poetry, like sonnets and stuff, but then also write complex computer code.
Yeah.
How it's is it Shakespeare or is it coding the next, TikTok? What is going on?
It's pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
The key to all of this is something called general purpose AI. And so think of it like this. Older AI, it was kind of like a calculator. Great for math, but that's all it could do. General purpose AI, it's more like your smartphone.
Okay.
It can handle a ton of different things.
So it's versatile.
Exactly. And a big part of that is because of LLMs, large language models.
LLMs, okay. Vaguely rings a bell.
I think you use them every day and don't realize it.
Hmm.
Think about those personalized recommendations you get, on Spotify.
Right.
Or if you're on a website, you use a chatbot.
Yeah.
That's powered by LLMs.
Oh, wow.
They're trained on mountains of data, just mountains and mountains. And so they pick up on all these patterns and they can generate text that sounds like a person wrote it.
So it's not just spitting out pre-programmed responses. It's actually learning and creating.
Exactly. It's creating. But now the Future of Life Institute, they're worried about something called AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Okay, so what makes AGI different?
So AGI, this is where things get really interesting. Think about an AI that's not just good at one thing, but can learn and reason like a person, maybe even better than a person. An AI that can understand complex scientific theories, could make decisions that affect the entire globe, maybe compose a symphony that blows Beethoven out of the water.
Okay, so that's a whole other level then.
Absolutely. It's like comparing a calculator to the human brain.
Right. And so are they freaking out about this at the Future of Life Institute?
I mean, they are sounding the alarm bells,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like a Terminator scenario, robots taking over, that kind of thing. It's more about the real-world risks, the things that could go wrong in ways we haven't even thought of yet.
So real-world consequences, less sci-fi.
Exactly, yeah. Like what happens if we create something that's smarter than us?
Yeah.
Can we really control it?
Right. It's imagine trying to outsmart, I don't know, a chess grandmaster who can see 10 moves ahead.
Exactly. That's the kind of challenge we could be facing with AGI.
Okay, yeah, I'm officially a little nervous now. But before we spiral into complete existential dread, I do want to shift gears a little bit because Morgan State University, they have this whole other take.
Yeah.
Way more optimistic, right? Lots of cool examples of how AI is already making our lives better.
Oh, yeah. They talk about AI personalizing your healthcare,
Oh, wow.
making it easier for us to communicate, helping us all be more creative. Imagine having an AI assistant that knows your entire medical history and can alert you to a health problem before you even realize it.
That would be incredible.
It'd be game-changing. Or how about being able to talk to anyone in the world, regardless of what language they speak?
Right? Or even if you want to, write a song or create some piece of art, but you're struggling to find the right words or the right, medium, AI could help you with that.
That's right. It's not just cool tech. It's changing how we live. It's changing how we work. It might even change how we think.
Okay, so we've got these two sides of the AI coin. One that's very cautious, one that's very optimistic. But both of our sources, they seem to agree on one key thing. We need some kind of control, some ethical guidelines. They keep mentioning AI governance.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean? For me, sitting here in my living room, what does that look like?
It's like anything else in society, right? We have rules for almost everything. We have traffic laws, we have building codes, AI governance. It's about bringing that same logic to artificial intelligence, making sure that we're developing AI in a safe and responsible way.
So we're not just building these super powerful AIs and then just crossing our fingers and hoping for the best.
We need to be thinking about things like Data privacy, ethical guidelines for algorithms, even international agreements to make sure we don't have an AI arms race.
AI arms race, huh? So this isn't just like a, philosophical debate. It's something that could have real-world impact on a global scale.
Absolutely, and here's the thing. Both sources, they really emphasize that this isn't just a job for the experts. It's on all of us.
Wait, so you're saying, like, what I do on a daily basis, the apps I use, the websites I visit, those choices actually matter in shaping AI?
They absolutely do, because every time you use AI, you are contributing to its development, to its future.
Wow, so it's like we're all part of this giant experiment, whether we realize it or not.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to be informed and to be aware of, the risks and the benefits and to be making conscious choices about how we use AI.
Okay, so we've gone from AI writing poetry to like potentially reshaping humanity all in the span of a few minutes. My brain needs a minute to process all this.
I know, it's a lot.
Okay, so my brain is still kind of reeling from that idea. We're basically like shaping the future of AI every time we use it.
It really is like that. It's so easy to think about AI as something that's, out
Yeah.
there, that tech companies are developing in some, super secret lab.
Yeah.
But it's already here. It's in our lives, woven into everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, whether we like it or not, we're using it every day.
And how much we use it, how we choose to use it, it all has an impact.
So it's not just about those big, scary what ifs, like, is AI going to take over the world? It's also these small, everyday decisions, like, am I going to let this algorithm pick my next vacation destination?
Right. That's where AI governance, that's where it really comes in.
Yeah.
Because if we want to make sure AI is used for good, we've got to think about rules, not just for the big tech companies, but for everyone.
Okay, so what would that look like? Like, in my real life, in my day-to-day, what would AI governance look like?
Well, think about it. What if social media, like what if those platforms had to tell us how their algorithms worked?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
You'd be able to see why you're seeing certain posts and not others.
Yeah.
You'd be a lot more aware of what you're consuming.
Right. Like, I always feel like I go down these weird rabbit holes,
Yeah,
and I don't even know how I got there.
right. And then there's data privacy.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if there were actual rules about how companies can use our data. You'd have way more control over your information, like how it's used to train these AI systems.
So it's not just like stopping the robots from taking over. It's also about protecting, our privacy now.
Exactly. It's about the right to make informed choices.
Mm.
And that's where you as an individual, that's where you have power.
Yeah.
You can choose to support companies that are developing AI ethically. You can push for stronger data privacy laws. You can even just talk to your friends and family about all of this stuff.
Okay, so I'm not just a passive consumer. Like, I'm an active participant. I have a role to play in shaping this technology.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, AI is a tool, right?
Yeah.
And like any tool,
Mhm.
it can be used for good or for bad. We get to decide.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects. But let's go back to AGI for a second, because it's honestly hard to wrap my head around AI that's, smarter than humans. Should we even be going there? Like, what happens if we create something we can't control?
That is the million-dollar question.
Hmm.
I don't know if anyone has the answer, but some people think AGI could solve climate change,
Oh, wow.
maybe end poverty.
Right.
Others think it's, a huge threat, like something we need to avoid at all costs.
Yeah, it's like incredible potential, but also, huge unknowns.
And that's why I think these conversations are so important. We need to be talking about the benefits and risks of AGI. The decisions we make now, those are going to have a huge impact down the road.
Yeah, not just on us, but on future generations.
Exactly. This is bigger than all of us. It's
Yeah.
about what kind of world we want to build, what
Mhm.
role we want AI to play in that world.
I mean, it's almost like too much to think about. But you're right, it's not just about the technology, it's about humanity.
I couldn't have said it better myself. We need everyone informed, everyone engaged, everyone a part of this conversation. The future of AI, it's not going to be decided by just a few people. It's going to be decided by all of us.
Wow. Okay, no pressure, listeners, but the fate of humanity just might be resting on your shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to explore AI and what it means for you after a quick word from our sponsors.
Man, we've covered a lot of ground today. AI is a lot more complicated than I thought it was going into this, that's for sure. It's not just about, like, cool robots and gadgets. It's about, like, ethics and, governing it and the future of humanity.
It is. It's huge. And I think one of the most important things to remember is AI is not a finished product. It's constantly changing, constantly developing.
Right. It's like what we think we know today could be completely different tomorrow, and that's kind of scary.
It is, and that's why it's even more important to stay informed and engaged, because the better we understand AI, the better we can kind of navigate, how it's going to impact our lives. So how do we even wrap our heads around something that's changing so fast?
It's a challenge.
Yeah, what can the average person who's not like, a tech expert, what can we do to help shape the future of AI?
Well, one thing we can all do is just be more mindful.
Okay.
How do we interact with AI on a daily basis? Like, think about the apps you use, the websites you visit, even the devices in your home. Are you okay with how those companies are using your data?
Honestly, I haven't given it that much thought.
I get it.
I kind of just, whatever looks interesting, I click on it.
We're bombarded with so much information these days. It's so easy just to kind of go on autopilot.
Yeah.
But the more aware we become of how AI is being used, I think the more control we have.
Okay, so it's like I can be a more critical consumer of AI, not just accepting whatever's put in front of me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Mm.
Why am I seeing this ad? Why is this article at the top of my feed? The more we question, the more we understand.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what about the bigger picture stuff, like how AI is governed or, those risks of AGI? I mean, can I really do anything to change that as just one person?
Well, think back to what we talked about before, right? AI is like that big election, and every time we interact, it's like casting a vote. Same thing here. Every choice we make, what we buy, what companies we support, that's sending a message to the market.
So it's like voting with our wallets and our actions.
It is. And don't underestimate the power of your voice. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, share articles, maybe write to, your congressman. The more people talking about these issues, the more likely we are to see some real change.
So it's not about being a tech expert. It's about being informed, being an engaged citizen.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, the future of AI isn't going to be decided by just a handful of companies or governments. It's up to all of us.
Wow. Well, listeners, we've thrown a lot of information at you today about AI, a lot to process. I know it's been a lot for me too.
It is a lot, but it's important. The more we know, the better equipped we are to navigate this future that's, coming at us pretty fast.
Exactly. And remember, the future isn't something that just happens. We all play a role in shaping it, so stay curious, stay informed, and keep asking those tough questions. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.